Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another exciting episode of This Is Our Life. Okay, this video is going to be kind of quick. Let's see if I can get better lighting here. Okay.
Davis is so tired he can barely sit up.
Yeah, I got about half an hour of sleep last night, people.
Well,
And then we had to go to Lebanon, and at least the doctors and nurses in Lebanon were helpful, you know.
why didn't you sleep good? Because of all the stress, or
Yeah.
just like the Seroquel didn't even help?
Usually I take 300 milligrams of Seroquel, people, and I took 300 and like I didn't take any.
Maybe you should have took an Ativan.
Yeah.
Well, I got a few. You know.
This video is I'm thinking of titling it Public House or Private House. This is in reference to the CAC. First of all, people, you need to decide what you're going to call it. The Keene Activist Center, the Keene Activity Center, is it a church? What is it?
Or just call it a house.
Yeah, or just call it a house. Is it a business? And let's see, you put it out there as a public house. You post online, meet at the CAC for a strategy session. You don't qualify that, you just say meet at the CAC. So that's what I did. I went over to the CAC. Nobody told me not to come in. I asked if I could use the bathroom, and I was told yes. Nobody said I couldn't come in. I know it's private property. I respect private property. But you put it out there as a public house, a public gathering place. Nobody ever told me I was banned until after the fact, and in a rather pissy manner. I mean, I don't know why I even bother saying this stuff, because I think 99% of you are delusional. I'm specifically talking about free Keeners, and well, three groups: free Keene, Keeniacs, and Robin Hooders. Now, there may be some people that participate in those things that are not nuts, but the majority of you are nuts. Here's some interesting points. If a tree falls in the forest and there's no one around, does it make a sound when it falls? What's the sound of one hand clapping? Which came first, the chicken or the egg? If a Keene activist disappears, does anyone notice or care? Well, we actually know the answer to the last one, and that is no and no. So, you know, you have this revolving door of activists, of people that move into Keene, and then they leave the state, or they move to another part of the state. And eventually they leave. You know, they go back to mommy and daddy, or they go to drug rehab, or they go to jail or prison. Who knows? But those are the main things that happen to people that move to Keene. And you know, I mean, honestly, I'm more afraid of you than I am of the people that currently hold power in Keene. That's pretty sad, because I know some of you are violent, quite violent. Yet you get all pissy about rhetorical comments. But it's okay with you when somebody is actually violent. I mean, that's why I think you have a thought disorder, because how can you rationalize that? You can't. You don't ostracize the violent people. The only people you ostracize are the people that make rhetorical comments, inflammatory rhetoric, but people that actually commit acts of violence you don't have a problem with. That's really stupid. You know, the way you treat the meter maids, that's just uncalled for. You don't need to do that. You can go and do Robin Hooding without harassing the meter maids. In fact, I'm going to start doing something in Keene and elsewhere. It's definitely not Robin Hooding. I'm not going to say what name I'm currently thinking about, because I'm going through a bunch of different ideas. But I'm not going to give an address, not going to give an email. It's just going to be the name of a group, or group. It's not really a group because it's just me. And I'm not going to harass anyone, and I'm just going to do it when I have the opportunity to do it. And maybe I will include an email. Maybe I won't. I don't know. I don't know what I'm going to do yet. I'm still thinking about it. Another point. I remember, was it a year or two ago, Ian and his lot, they were getting pissed off. I don't know, was it a school or school district or town that had something in their bylaws about, well, we can make new rules and modify existing rules when we see fit. And y'all got pissed off about that, but now I see you're doing the same thing. You're a hypocrite. All of you are a bunch of freaking hypocrites. Is the CAC, the Keene Activist Center, Activity Center, a church, a public house, a private house, a business? What is it? Make up your mind. And don't be putting stuff online saying, show up at the CAC, if that's not really what you mean. Because when you do it that way, you're saying it's a public house. Do I need to go into some of the other details that I've gone into in other videos? Hopefully not. Also, I noticed a number of people said, you know, they could care less about people who've committed suicide. You know, I'm not like that. I care about people. I find you people to be arrogant, rude, obnoxious, very self-centered, uncaring, unkind. You know, you're a very sad group of people, and I will continue to expose you for what you really are. You know, and you are Ian's minions. You do what he tells you to do, directly or indirectly. Also, what was that other point I was about to make? Oh, there was another good point. Now I forgot it. I'm so tired. If you listen to the beginning of this video, then you know I haven't slept in I don't know how long. We just got back from Lebanon not 10-15 minutes ago, and my wife has health issues. But you know, I know what I was going to say. Y'all keep track of what people say. It's things people said 2 or 3 years ago. You have a record of it. That's really sad. See, I don't do that with people. Okay, I don't keep a running tally of people. You've done this, 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 and this. You haven't done that, that, and that. I don't keep a running tally like that about people. You know, I take people for who and what they are, but I don't keep a running tally. That's really petty. And you are a very vindictive group. You know, and see, you remind me more and more and more and more of what life was like for me in Spain under Franco. I think you would have fit in quite well. I mean, look, you change the power structure in Keene, you are in power instead of those who are currently in power. I just don't see that there's going to be any change. It might even get worse. Currently, there is some modicum of restraint, Not much, but there is some minor restraint on the part of the police and fire, EMS. I don't think that would exist with you in power. And that's pretty freaking sad. I remember there was on Free Talk Live once, there was an email or a snail mail, I don't know what it was, a letter to Free Talk Live, and only because the person was from Tennessee or Kentucky, Ian and whoever it was with him were ridiculing him. I'm like, you know, that's ridiculous. Look, Ian, you're from the South too. You're from Florida. That's the South. You're from up in them swamps, eh? So be careful. Yeah, I know this will eventually get relayed back to him, but you know, that's a good thing. But do I need to go into some other stuff? I mean, obviously I can. I can deal with a lot of things, but I don't think, like I said, I think it's petty to keep a running tally of such things. But y'all keep a very detailed running tally, yet you oppose the government tracking everything you say and do, yet you do the same thing. You track everything people say and do online. It wouldn't surprise me if you're tracking more than just that. You're hypocrites. I've lost respect for you. I wanted to be one of you at one time, but not anymore. I want to be with people that respect other people, who don't go following a lady around, a group of people who follow a lady around and berate her for hours on end. That's ridiculous. You can still do Robin Hooding without acting the fool. Okay? There's a reason so many people in Keene don't like you. Keene residents that do not like you. Keene residents who will go up to the cops. There are videos of this. There are videos of you abusing the meter maids. They're all over the place. And you can take whatever I've said or done, but I haven't used any violence. My wife hasn't used any violence. But many of you have. Many, if not most of you, are abusive to people. I'm just being honest. So, you know, yeah, like I said, I'm more afraid of you than I am of the people currently in power in Keene. That's pretty freaking scary. I know many of you are very vengeful people, very angry people, not happy at all, have no sense of humor. So, I still support the Free State Project. I still support the ideals, if you will, of the Free State Project. I still support Cop Block. I found the people that night doing Cop Block to be very professional about what they were doing. They weren't harassing anyone. They weren't being abusive to anyone. They were making sure the cops were also not abusive. But the rest of you are abusive to people, and you know, I'm just not going to be a part of that. I want nothing to do with people like that. In fact, I'm going to expose you, and that's why I've made some of these videos. And you know, you can criticize me. I haven't done everything the right way. I've made mistakes, but none of that changes the facts that I've pointed out. So, you know, maybe you want to think about some of that. Then again, you're so arrogant, I doubt you will.